If you work in a support role in a school and are looking to progress your career, navigating your way towards new opportunities can be a daunting prospect. Career Paths is a programme that can help you as you plan your route to success, giving you information and ideas on which direction to go and how to progress. In today's episode, 5 support staff who largely work outside the classroom put their questions about how to move forward to our panel of experts. Lynn Sawicki is a consultant to the Training and Development Agency for Schools. Richard Hallett manages the Centre of Vocational Excellence for School Support Staff Training. And Lynn Holmes is an NVQ coordinator and GMB Union Learning Rep, knowing plenty about career moves, having started as a cleaner. First up is Patty Brown from Chalgrove School, North West London, who works as a mealtime supervisor. Originally from the United States, she's lived in England for 23 years. She's done a few courses and would like to develop her role working with children.
Since I've just started in the school about a year ago, that it'd be interesting to see where I can go from there, possibly a teaching assistant, or I'm not really sure.
Generally, there are 2 main banks of qualifications available for support staff. One being the NVQs, the National Vocational Qualifications, and the second being the vocational related qualifications. National vocational qualifications are about people proving competence in the work-based qualifications. Vocational related qualifications are normally the taught type of courses where students, support staff will go to college perhaps on a day release or an evening basis. Both routes, they are slightly different, but both equally acceptable. As your role as a midday supervisor, do you get involved with sort of any play activities with the children?
At the moment, that's optional, so yeah, you do. You encourage them to play the balls or jump the jump ropes. We're trying to bring in a scheme called Huff-a-Puff. So I've been on a couple of courses for that, to learn how to do that and hopefully to bring that into our school.
There's an NVQ in play work which would lend itself to the type of work that you're covering. Another option would be the new vocational qualification at level 2 for support work in schools, which has some optional units there for teaching assistants.
You could be looking at opportunities to be a teaching assistant. You don't need a qualification to be a teaching assistant, and I think we ought to say that. Obviously, you know, we would hope people would be working towards qualifications. You know, if you can get work in the classroom, or you can move into the classroom on a voluntary basis or employed basis and have a look. Either teaching assistant or play work qualifications, they both would lend themselves to things like extended school services. So before after school services, you know, if you ever wanted to take that sort of role up as well, so it gives you far more flexibility.
My first thing that I'd be doing is actually talking to either my line manager, school bursar, or usually the deputy head teacher in school, whoever's in charge of our own progression routes.
Very good. It sounds very promising. It sounds extra work.
Yeah, it's extra work.
Never really have gone this far. I've only just thought about it. Sounds helpful. Thank you very much.
Good luck.
So if you, like Patty, want to develop your work with children, the panel are recommending the NVQ in playwork. There's also a new vocational qualification at level 2 for support work in schools, with optional units for TAs. So talk to your head teacher about moving into the classroom and see if you can try it out on a voluntary or paid basis first. Next is Matthew Salvage from Fairway School in North London, currently working as an ICT technician and part-time TA. He's worked in technical roles outside of school and would like to develop his role in school to make the most of his expertise.
I'm currently an ICT technician within 2 schools, but I'm kind of thinking about where I can go as far as playing a bigger part in planning for ICT rather than just sort of fixing equipment and things like that.
It might be worthwhile having a word with the advisor for ICT within your local authority.
Yeah.
To see whether perhaps you could extend your role into 2 or 3 different schools and have some influence on perhaps the IT strategy amongst those schools, whilst, you know, carry on to gain qualifications that would help in looking at strategy across a small number of schools. Would have the NVQs, the ITQ NVQ, which is a very flexible qualification, because it can be tailored to the type of work that you're doing.
Right, because I think working with 2 schools already, I see there's a very different approach to ICT, and I find that I can kind of bring ideas together for the schools and sort of make a bit of a difference.
So need to take care in doing ICT qualifications. You need to be looking at the practitioner, professional qualifications, not the users.
Yeah. But I do have a lot of experience in the industry doing IT support and web design, and also I've worked in the music industry with music technology and sound engineering.
Ah, now then, does the school hold a theatre licence?
No, it doesn't, but I'm trying to expand them with sort of multimedia suites and things like that.
Because that's another way forward, isn't it?
Yeah, and also introducing music and video into schools. That's something that I'm trying to push through as well. So there sounds like there's quite a few options for me to find out the directions I can go. So
Well, thank you very much.
thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers. Good luck.
Thanks.
So if you're looking to expand your ICT role like Matthew, our panel suggests firstly that you talk to your local authority's ICT advisor. You may also be able to extend your role across more than one school whilst gaining a qualification, such as a Level 3 NVQ for IT professionals. Next, it's Sally Greenwich from Christchurch Primary School in South London. She's been working as a school secretary for the last 6 years. Sally has previous experience and qualifications in the business world, but now she's keen to work more directly with pupils.
I would really like to start working with children who've got behavioural problems. I just feel that it's something that I could do and something that I would find a lot more rewarding.
If you want to go into the classroom, and I think there's two possibilities there, either a teaching assistant role or a learning mentor role. A learning mentor is more outside the classroom, working with individuals or small groups. Both of those have qualifications, but neither actually require qualifications.
But before you get your qualifications, I would suggest that you actually try it first.
Obviously, I don't want to stop doing what I'm doing now and just throw myself into something which I might not find interesting, even though I think I would be interested in doing it.
Maybe if you did ask about shadowing a member of staff in school, we could actually follow what they're doing and it'll give you a better insight to the job.
Then if you do decide that you want to do either of those roles, then there are qualifications, there are MVQs and there are vocational qualifications that you could look at taking to support that role, which you could do whilst you're working.
How long would these courses run for?
Perhaps for a Level 2 qualification, approximately 12 to 15 months. For a Level 3, perhaps 15 to 18 months. It's very much driven by how quickly you get along yourself.
Sally, what are you going to do now?
Well, I think the first step I'm going to take is to speak to my head teacher. What stayed in my mind is a learning mentor. I think will be the route that I'm going to go down.
Well, good luck to you, Sally.
Good luck, Sally.
Thank you.
So our team suggests that Sally could explore two routes, either as a learning mentor or as a teaching assistant. Shadowing other staff roles can help you decide which is best for you. You don't need prior qualifications for either of these roles, but once you're working in these positions, there are NVQs and other vocational qualifications to develop your skills. Next is Dippo Akinth from Christchurch School in East London, who's worked as a school premises manager for 7 years. He'd like to become more qualified in the practical aspects of his work so he can extend his role around the school.
I like to be more professional in things I do. I'll be able to save the school some money, and the money will be diverted to other important things for the children in the school.
Yeah, there are a number of qualifications. I think the first one being the Level 2 NVQ in caretaking, which covers a lot of the practical skills. It covers plumbing, plastering, carpentry and joinery, glazing, with a little bit of basic electrics in. I think we've got to be very careful when we're carrying out repair work in school that we only go as far as the knowledge that we have.
Exactly.
And it very much depends on the policy of your local authority that you work for and your head and governors as to how far they might let you go.
What moves I need to take to start with these courses we just mentioned?
I think the first thing that you need to do is speak to your head teacher to agree to your time off work with pay for you to carry out the courses. Then make enquiries, different colleges, what they've got available to you.
If I'm going to go to my head with this, because sometimes I feel I need to prove what will be the benefits to the school. Do I need to do that, or is that my right?
I think the way that schools are developing through the national remodelling agenda and the changes that are going on, schools are looking very much to support staff in going forward to gain qualifications which are going to benefit the school and really at the end of the day benefit the pupils in the schools. It's very interesting, Dippo. They have a bachelor's degree in psychology. Was that from Nigeria?
It's from Nigeria, yes.
From Nigeria. People think when they change direction that they've wasted perhaps previous qualifications they've got through, but that isn't the case.
You're not going to be bothered by further qualifications, further study, because you know, you've got those skills already. So, yeah, good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So if you're interested in developing your site support role like Dippo, you could take the Level 2 NVQ in Cleaning and Support Services, which covers all the relevant skills. Our experts suggest first talking to your head teacher about how this training could benefit you and the school. Next is Elaine Clifford from Ripple Junior School in Barking. She works on the front desk as an administration assistant with responsibility for attendance. She has 4 O-levels and has done some admin courses. Now Elaine is interested in working more with parents as well as pupils and teachers.
At the moment, I'm an admin assistant in a junior school, and one of my major roles is improving attendance within the school. Now, what I'd like to do, I'm actually moving up to Scotland, but I'd like to liaise with parents and children and the school and be, you know, the middle person working with all sides.
First thing I would say to you is you're actually moving. You're moving schools, you're moving country. The first thing that I would suggest is really do some research. If you can identify what roles are about, then look at the sorts of qualifications that either they're asking for or the sort of qualification which will cover the role that you're looking at. There are qualifications, there are new qualifications for learning mentors, which is the NVQ in Learning Development and Support Services.
They support all sides, don't they?
It is actually the same qualification for learning mentors and liaison officers. So in fact, you know, you could choose different units, and because you would do the core, if you changed your mind or changed direction slightly, you only have to do the extra, then actually pick up another qualification.
Then I know you're doing sort of an admin role, and the only other route we could suggest would be possibly an NVQ in IT, and would fit in most probably to the work role that you're doing, and might have some use if you go into this role as a learning support person, learning mentor.
Would the skills that I've had here, or gained here in England, would they be any different in Scotland? Would they require any different skills?
The answer to that one is it is actually very difficult. Education system is different in Scotland. They have obviously similar roles, but how roles are put together in terms of, you know, what people do would be, you know, maybe very different. So it is worth looking.
Okay.
And good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So if you, like Elaine, want to move into a more pupil-parent liaison role, our experts suggest you look at the qualifications available for learning mentors or liaison officers. There's an NVQ in Learning Development and Support Services, which contains core units relevant to both roles, after which you specialise. Our experts recommend a number of websites that can help you develop your career paths. The Training and Development Agency for Schools website features the Career Development Framework for school support staff. Unison's Skills for Schools website also has detailed information on specific roles and qualifications, with an interactive career route planner. And don't forget, Teachers TV has many career development programmes available for all roles. All these details and links can be found at www.teachers.tv.